All right, welcome back to my car cave. And for the second time in as many videos, I've got another street car for you. Again, not something we ever have talked about, but here we go. This time it's the McLaren Speedtail in frozen blue. It's an Autoart model, comes in a basic Autoart paper box clamshell. The only thing of significance I'd highlight here is detail scale model for adult collectors. So for those of us who don't like to hear people tell us these are toys, well, there you go. They're for adults only. Let's go ahead and get it out of the box and we'll take a closer look at this model. Okay, we got the cover off and it comes in this, again, typical styrofoam clamshell. Comes with little two-page instructions on how to remove the car and access some of the functionalities. Maybe this is why it's for adults and not for kids. Whatever. Anyways, there's the car itself. Looks amazing. I'm going to go ahead and get off the base and then we'll take a closer look at the details. Okay, now that we got it out of the box, go ahead and take a look at this. This is the McLaren Speedtail from, I believe, their Ultimate Collection. They've kind of decided they're going to have like the P1 and the Senna, like in this Ultimate Collection, and then they have a GT Collection for like 720s and that kind of stuff. So, anyways, this is their super high end. You're only buying it if we call you list car. I think they're making just like 106 of these or something like that. I think, obviously they're all sold out. They're probably already manufactured by now. Um, and again, this is kind of a throwback to their original McLaren F1 from the 90s, and then it's a single or a center seat cockpit with two rear seats just to the side. This car was meant to be, just super slippery, super fast. It's that kind of long tail design that I really like in motorsports, and it's kind of interesting to see it when it plays out on a road car. I think in the previous video, the Jesko Absolute, it's a long tail version of the Attack, and so I really I'm attracted to these type of cars for my street car collection. So anyways, yeah, super limited. I think probably 2.3 million, when they first came out, certainly 3 million in auctions now. Um, Not road legal in the U.S. Other than show and display. I've seen one over in Europe driving at a car show, and I've seen them in dealerships here in the U.S., but never quote unquote out in the wild. So, beautiful car. Again, I really love it. Just very simple, elegant, aerodynamic, sleek car from McLaren. Very purposeful design. And I really, like I said, I like it. I can't imagine what it would be like to drive down the road. It is super long, in person, and I just don't know how it handles. I'm sure it's amazing in a straight line. If you have a runway strip that you have access to, I'm sure it's fantastic. But other than that, I don't, I can't imagine driving. It's that entertaining. It's, unlike the Senna, it's very luxurious on the inside. So there, the tent was there, but again, we all know these cars are sitting in collections and not actually being driven anyways. So, this model is going to make more mileage than a real car probably. So this car, it's Auto Art. They used to have different series. It's not like a signature series. I think it's their basic series. So, a $225 model. So this is, it's pricey in my book, but it is one of the few makers in 1/18th of this particular model with opening parts. So I thought we'd just kind of look at this and go around and talk about some of the details on this. It's lightweight. Normally you would think this is die cast. I believe this is like a plastic composite model. Many champs did some, they call it composites, not resin type model. So it might have some die cast parts that give it a little bit of weight, but I think a lot of this is kind of this plastic material they started using, and I'll show you one reason why they're probably doing that here. So first of all, just kind of going around, it's very typical auto art quality. You can have an opening hood, opening doors, a little bit of a trunk space here. Not a lot of photo etch parts per se, but you do get some carbon fiber decaling. You get carbon fiber decaling here, as well as on the front spoiler. Then here, I'm going to argue that this is actually a plastic trim, and I'll show you something on the bottom that's pretty cool. and then back here. So like you get this carbon fiber treatment here, and this is actually and actually it's an imprint on the plastic, but it's done very well. It's super. You can feel the texture, but it's done in a way that looks very very real. And I'll show you the difference between when it looks good and it doesn't look good. Um, Here's the typical carbon fiber kind of print. It's, a scrape on here makes a loud noise. It's a deep groove. It just doesn't look right. It has the texture, and you see this on Solido and No Rev and other companies like that make more cost conscious cars and want to have the details, but have to go about it in a cost effective way. So for the main undercarriage here, uh, that's what Autoart has done. Then they do some decaling here and here, decaling here. And then this, actually, like I said, this is decaling. Um, but then this is print. So it's super interesting that they've got a couple different kind of, ways of doing this carbon fiber. And this is a decal that has a slight texture to it. This is I don't know, maybe it's the print. I think it's the decal. And then this is definitely like plastic, bodywork stuff. It's pretty cool. Um, I think it's pretty creative. It looks really good. I mean, like here, this looks like a decal, even if it is not. And this definitely looks like a decal, even though I know it's for sure not. Um, and then this is kind of that trashy kind of carbon fiber. Not trashy, just what you get on a lower cost model. These are plastic, not photo etched. You do get, where did I just see some photo etching? Around here, you get these photo etched, you know, metal parts around the exhaust for heat release. Super cool. I can't tell if there's any photo etching in there. Um, but yeah, this is a really slick model. I think it's beautiful. This is their frozen blue, and you remember these cars? They had a electromagnetic switch on the car where it would tint up the top of the window to keep the cabin from overheating and shade the occupants. And if you hit the button, that all clears up and it's just like an open greenhouse. So they've chosen to kind of represent that through a tinted decal here. And I think that looks really great. So, anyways, let's go ahead and I'm going to show you some of the opening features, and we'll talk about those as well. So one thing that's kind of nice about the street cars versus the race cars, race cars have them, but F1 in particular, you don't get a lot of opening parts, and so it's kind of, I think, appealing for a lot of people when collecting this stuff is the added realism of having opening parts. So they've kind of changed how things work here, and every auto art I've had for a million years has had this key. I've never ever used it. This is one of the first models I think I've had to actually use it to get into these body panels. There's no button underneath it to pop it up, has been in the past. So what you do is you just take this key, slide it under here, and it opens it up. And inside you get some more of that kind of carbon fiber texture treatment. It's the kind of crappy plastic version that I think at this price point is not great on this part of the car. It's fine underneath, but up here you should really have the decal or something else. This is decaled here. Then you get this nice little tote bag or whatever. It's take it out here. It's carbon fiber, decaled or whatever. It's pretty neat. I don't know. It's I don't know. Like I said, they said these were adult toys, not adult collectibles, not toys. But when you start adding that stuff, it feels a little bit like a toy. And then you come back here again, no button to pop it up, so you got to use this key to go into. And here's another luggage set. It's actually 3 individual pieces. I don't know that I can grab one of these out of here, but same kind of carbon fiber, decaling on it. Looks pretty sweet, and it's added unnecessary detail, but it's kind of fun. I mean, I can't fault them for wanting to do that. Something that's kind of interesting here is, on the real car, McLaren had, it's carbon fiber, obviously. And one of the things they had to come up with was this, they wanted to have this flexible aero wing instead of having a fixed wing on it here. They wanted a wing that kind of moved and was, so they made the carbon fiber in such a way that I guess it was thinner here and allowed for some flexibility. And the bigger concern really was the paint. How do you have this moving without the paint cracking over time? So I think they spent a lot of money trying to figure that out. So on this model, you have this switch here and you push it and then these pop up. I mean, it's hard to push. I don't feel great about it. Like, and it pops up just a smidge. It might go up more. I'm not, again, this is super hard to do. Doesn't give me a whole lot of comfort that like that's going to last long. So, but it is kind of a cool feature that, Autoart took time to, make this again kind of a plastic piece that they could, have it flex a little bit. I'm afraid if I flex it so much, it's going to permanently deform. But it is there. You just again, man, that is so hard. Anyways, but it is cool, and that's probably why it's not die cast. It's kind of this plastic material, so they could do that. Then you get the doors that open here, and they're using their usual Autoart little support struts and that kind of stuff. They're super fragile. Inside, yeah, it's pretty plain actually. Like there's not a great sorry, it's not focused, but it's not a great like texture element to anything. It's just you'd think it'd be flocking or for Alcantara. It feels smooth here. I don't know. It's kind of devoid. I mean, this car interior is kind of devoid of a lot of features. You get some little mirror. You don't get real mirrors. You get these cameras here, which there's a button. I'll have to take a photo of it, and that allows for this camera to pop out here. You're just pushing it basically, and then this is essentially your rear, your rear camera or your rear mirror here on the car. So when you're driving at full attack, instead of having mirrors out here for aerodynamic reasons, they just have these little cameras back here, and then there's two TV screens at either end that you'd be able to see what is going on. But yeah, this car, again, I apologize, I can't seem to get it in focus here, but yeah, it's pretty, it's basic inside. There's some carbon fiber decaling here behind the headrest. You can see the Bose speaker grills. Carbon fiber decaling here, and it says McLaren in there, kind of in a watercolor or watermark, so to speak. Um, yeah, but anyways, working steering, that kind of stuff that you get with die-cast or these composite models, movable wheels, that kind of stuff. This is kind of neat. The wheel spins while the aero cap stays fixed. But yeah, so this is a great, I think a really great model. And, I would argue these seatbelts could be cloth at $200 or 200 plus dollars. That should be cloth. It shouldn't be plastic. It is plastic. But again, you're not going to see that from far away. Things like this is optioned a million different ways in real life. A lot of times it would probably be exposed carbon fiber. It would have been a good chance to have that. But they do have these kind of like, perforation decals here. You do have some photo etching in there. It looks nice. You got the rear brake light beam. Overall, a nice model. It's again not super heavy. Nice to have some opening parts. It's very different from the usual stuff I'm collecting, which is always just kind of fixed and whatnot. But yeah, super happy to have this in my collection. It's been a long time since I've kind of done any focus on street cars. I've now bought two in a week, kind of off of eBay impulse stuff. Yeah, again, as a collector, I do, we know what I focus on, but I also do have some street cars. And that was kind of the genesis of when I started collecting was, Ferraris and stuff from the Barago era. And yeah, so it's kind of nice to get back to some of that. And, if this is stuff y'all are interested in, please, feed in the comments, give me some feedback on, whether you guys want to see more car stuff or street car stuff. I'm not going to buy it just to buy it, but like, there's definitely some stuff out there that I'm kind of interested in. And if it's of interest to y'all, I'm happy to post it. So, uh, feed the motivation meter, hit like, hit subscribe. post comments, that kind of stuff. I like this to be interactive, and yeah, we'll see if we have some more street cars going forward. But anyways, yeah, so that's two new model, or just sorry, not two. That's a new model for the collection, the street collection. So thank you, and we'll have some more videos soon.